but there's a good chance that you're not very good on the phones. Most salespeople are not good at getting hold of people by phone. They think they are, but they are not. Because you might be good with people, you might be good once you get your prospect on the phone, but most of us really struggle with committing to a phone call. Now, what I mean by committing to a phone call is I mean that when you pick that phone up, that you are committed to getting the other person on the line. You're not just picking it up to leave a voicemail. You're not just going through the motions of, hey, I made my calls today, and here's a tick on my tick sheet or my CSFs that I made my calls. I'm talking about when you pick up that phone, you pick it up with intention. And you are serious about, I am going to get this guy or this gal on the line right now. This is my chance to make the call, and I am committed to getting them on the line. And if you struggle with that, or if you think there's room for improvement, we want to introduce to you a technique that we like to call prospecting pinball. Now, we call it prospecting pinball because what you're going to do is you're going to allow yourself to kind of get bounced around in the organization from to and fro here and there in order to talk to several different people who can help you get the actual person that you need on the phone. Now, this technique has been modified from a story that I once heard from a good friend of mine named Jeff. And he was teaching me this story. He taught this technique, and he used to call it ride the bull. Riding the bull. It's a series of all of these different questions that you're going to ask when you call in to a company and you talk to the gatekeeper or whoever. And so here's how it works, all right? Here's what I want you to write down on your page. The first thing is write down the word page. Second thing, write down the word business sell, or the words business sell. Third thing, I want you to write down connect. Fourth, I want you to write down the word next. And then fifth, I want you to write down the word EAP, or the letters EAP. Each of those things that you just wrote down represent a series or a step in a series of questions that you're going to ask to help you commit to a call and get a hold of the person that you're trying to reach. So it works like this. Let's say I call into an organization, ring, ring, and the gatekeeper answers and I say, "Hi, is Mr. Jones there?" And they say, "Just a moment," and they transfer me and I get his voicemail. Now, I'm not talking to Mr. Jones, and I'm committing to get Mr. Jones on the phone. So I'm not going to leave a voicemail the first time. I'm going to be a little more persistent. So I'm going to zero out and take me back to the receptionist. Now, when she picks up, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, "Hi there. I was just trying to reach Mr. Jones, and I got his voicemail. Would you mind paging him? I really need to speak with him." So that is the first step. So she is going to page him if they have a paging service. Hopefully she will make the page. Or if they don't have a paging service, she'll probably tell you. She'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a paging service or that capability," right? And that's okay. That is step one. So step two then is you're going to say, "Okay, I can appreciate that. Does he have a business cell phone that I could try him on?" Business cell phone. That's step two, right? And one of two things will happen. She will either say, "Sure, let me give you that phone number," or she might, in which case you're going to get the cell phone, which you want to write down, and now you have that information, and hopefully you'll catch Mr. Jones on a cell phone. Now, she might say something like this. She might say, "I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to give out that information," right? That's something that you might hear, which is okay. Now you're into step three. And you will say this. This is where it says connect on your page. You say this. You say, "I can appreciate that. Well, I'll tell you this. It's really important. I'm trying to get a hold of Mr. Jones. Why don't you go ahead and call him. I'll wait here on hold. And when you reach him, you can connect us." Right? So you call him. I'll wait here. And if you reach him, you can connect us. So that's step three. So now, one of two things will happen. She will either do that. If she has the capability to do it, she will call Mr. Jones, reach him, and then connect you. Or she will say, "I'm sorry, we don't have that capability." At this point, do you think that they're getting the idea that that you're really trying to get a hold of this person? I think so. There's a sense of urgency that is developed by going through each stage of this process. And that's why you follow this specific order, even if you're pretty sure they don't have a paging system, or even if you're pretty sure they don't have the technology to connect you, you still ask the questions in this order because it creates urgency. It gets the point across that you're not just a salesperson making a million sales calls, that you actually are trying to get a hold of this person for a meaningful